video, I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Word as a tool to figure out your narrative structure for your audio story. You'll record your audio story on your phone using some kind of voice memo app and upload that file. But you need to figure out your structure ahead of time so that you know your story will be engaging. So like Ira Glass says, you want an anecdote and you want a point of reflection. So I want you to go to the New York Times website, link that's in the assignment description. Let me share my screen. And here you have a huge list of topics. Pick one of them that seems appealing to you. Are you distracted by your phone? Are you addicted to texting? There's so many prompts here. And then what I'd like you to do is figure out a story to tell relevant to that topic. You're not just generally sort of like talking at random about that topic. I want it to be structured and be interesting to listen to. Find an anecdote that you want to tell about it. So an anecdote is when you're talking about a specific memory, a specific experience, something that has actually happened that you can describe in specific terms. So if the question I chose was, who's your favorite pop diva? You could say, oh, my favorite is Britney Spears. She's just so funny and cool, whatever it is. You know, that's not as interesting as if you have a memory in your mind of, I remember the first time that I listened to Britney Spears. I was 6 years old and I'd stolen my sister's CD from her room, and I locked myself in my room with a CD player and blasted it loud, and I didn't care that I got in trouble. It was just changed my life to hear Baby one more time. So make sure you have an anecdote in mind and a specific character. So it could be yourself, it could be a family member or a friend, someone you're talking about. Okay. And then once you have an anecdote, you need to figure out that point of reflection. So talking about the deeper meaning or something that this anecdote revealed about the subject or about the character who may be yourself. So a good tool for this actually may be Microsoft Word. So let me show you what I mean. So if I get a new document, blank document. Okay, so I don't know if you ever used this before, but there is a tool here called Dictate. So I might turn on Dictate, and one question that I liked from the list was a movie-related question. So what have you learned from movies? I think that's an interesting question. Okay. I'm going to put that at the top. And then an anecdote that comes to mind related to this question is when day I was 16 and seeing the movie WALL-E really impacted me. So I'm going to press Dictate and tell the story of my experience seeing WALL-E. And don't overthink this. This is just for yourself. It's a tool to kind of get the story out of yourself and think about how to structure it. So this is my story of seeing WALL-E. So it was summer. I was in a summer art program for animation. It was an animation class, and as a group, we went to see WALL-E in a theater in Baltimore. I didn't think that much of it. And there's always crashed over like billboard and like old TVs and furniture, and he's on one and he's over like things like old things over and don't play and he goes one night trash like pile and then starts setting things like the golden light and there's a music really he's over like saying like really so sad and I started crying like I was just over the story. I was so surprised by that. I never really cry in movies, but that one scene like hit me so hard. Okay, so that's my story about going to see Wall-E. And I'm going to go back and read this to myself, just read it over. And think about the question of like, why did you tell this story? What does it mean to you? Does this experience change you in some way or lead you to learn something? In this case, I think this experience actually led me to my career now, which is making stories for children, writing books, and animating. So I'm going to record myself again. I think when I started crying, I was shocked by that. I realized in that moment that people actually make these stories. The artist started with like sketchbook, just like a sketchbook. And I turned it into this film that made me cry and made me laugh and moved me in such a visceral way. I want to be able to do that too. It's not something that's impossible. I can do it. And it's just such a meaningful career to make stories and films and characters that are animated and that move you in this particular way. Okay, so you see how in this section I have an anecdote, and in this section I have a point of reflection, right? So in the same way that these American Life segments work, this is powerful, right? Something interesting is happening, you're going along for the ride, and you're learning about some bigger meaning. Okay, so now that I have an anecdote and I have a point of reflection, I want to have a really intriguing beginning, like something that's either a question or it's like eye-catching. You know how people have like clickbait titles, like it's misdirecting, or maybe it's just something totally just unexpected. So I think a beginning that could be really interesting here is a tiny trash robot named Wall-E changed my life. Okay, so now that I have this laid out in my document here, I want to go ahead and record your final audio story using an audio recording app on your phone. In my case, I'm using voice memos because I have an iPhone. You're going to make a new recording, just like this. Place the phone 6 inches away from your mouth and on a flat surface or object that you're not holding with your hand. That way it's very even. Then when you're done, click those little 3 dots and you can use that to change the name of the file to an attention-grabbing title and export or share that file to your computer so you can upload it for your Blackboard submission. Tell the final story through one single audio recording. So I want to start with my attention-grabbing intro, then tell my anecdote and tell my point of reflection. And don't use this document as a script. It's not a script, it's just a tool for you to plan out your structure ahead of time. You want it to feel fresh and like you're talking to someone. And I'm going to record my final audio story on the voice memo app on my phone. So I'm going to go record that now, and I'll post it as an example on the assignment window.